channel once again, and my name is Kwakudapa. So today we're going to talk about how we can use Power BI to create a simple project. So this tutorial will be a project on Netflix subscription, and the data set was sourced from Kaggle. So basically we're going to talk about some few data pre-processing procedures, and after that this is going to be our objective for this tutorial. So we're going to look at the total subscription by country, subscription by gender, by age, by device, by plan, the monthly revenue by device, monthly revenue by country and gender, revenue by country, age and gender, and also we look at revenue by subscription type. Then finally we will look at revenue by year. So without wasting my time, this is Power BI tool, and when you open Power BI tool, this is what you see. So if you wanna know more about Power BI, you can look at my previous video on introduction to Power BI. So we are not going to load the data with this first page, so I'll just close this and I'll come to import data or get data. So I'll choose get data, and I'll choose from Excel worksheet or from text CSV, because the file is a CSV file. So I'll choose this. Then I'll select my Netflix database or dataset. Okay, so wait for it to load into Power BI. Now when loading data into Power BI, you have an option to load it into Power Query to perform some transformation or data cleaning. So I'll first of all load the data into Power Query by choosing transform data. So this will load the data into Power Query, and what we are going to do here is we're going to look at our data set. I think the date format is not in the right format. It's supposed to be in date, but it's showing ABC. ABC means text, so we will transform it to a proper date format. Then when you look at the user ID, it's in the right format, which is whole numbers. Then subscription type is also in text, which is correct. So looking at the data set, I think it's the date column that have wrong format. So to do that, I'll just right click on the join date and come to transform. No, I'll come to change type. So change type, I'll choose using local. So using local will load another text box or will load a menu, and data type I will choose date and time. Then I will change the language to United States. Okay, so I'll change from United States to English, United Kingdom. Then I'll just click on OK. So this will transform the date into time and date format. I'll do same for last payment date. So I come to change data type using local. So local allows you to set it to a specific locality, right? So I'll change to date and time. Then I'll choose United Kingdom again. So English, United Kingdom. Okay, so this will also convert the date to time and date, but we don't need the time. So what I'll do is I'll click on it once again, or I'll click on the join date, then split the time from the date. So I'll click on split, then we'll choose by delimiter. So I'll choose by delimiter as the means of splitting the date and time. Then I will choose custom space, because when you look at the date and the time, there is space that separates them. So from the leftmost delimiter. Okay, so this will split the date into uh, normal date and time. So I'll double click on the header and change it to join date. Then I'll delete the time column because I don't need it in this project. I'll do same for last payment. So I'll select by clicking on the header, go to split by delimiter. I'll choose custom, then space. Then from the leftmost delimiter, that's from the left hand side, the first is from the left hand side. Okay, so this will split the date again into time and last payment date. I'll delete the last payment column because I don't need it in this project. Then I'll rename the last date, last payment date 1 to last payment. Okay, so I think this is fine for our analysis. So when you are done, or when done, you just go to click and apply. Sorry, you go to close and apply. So close and apply will close and load it into Power BI. So the transformation was done in Power Query. And when done, you can load it back into Power BI. So the data is finally loaded into Power BI. So we can check from the table view to see our data, and we can see that our data is loaded successfully. But I want to change the name of the table. So I'll right click and choose rename. I want to make it, I want to remove the space in between Netflix and Userbase. So I'll just do it like this. Then come back to the report view. So this is where we are going to create our chart or report for the data set. So on the right hand side, the extreme right hand side, you see the data which is loaded here. When you drop down, you see the various headers. Then we have the visualization pane. Then we also have the filter pane. In case you want to filter some records, we can do it here. Right, so if you want to know more about Power BI, you can watch my previous video on introduction to Power BI. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to set up an environment for the analysis. So I will quickly go to canvas. I want to format the canvas. So I'll click on this, format your page. Then I'll come to canvas settings. Then the type, I'll choose custom. So custom, I want the size to be 840 pixels instead of 720. So I'll make it 840. Then I'll make the width 1440. I want to have a bigger width and height. So this is what I want. Then the canvas background too, I will choose a background color of this shade of black. Then I'll reduce the opacity to about 10 or 9. Okay, 9% to get this shade. Okay. So what I'll do next is I need a rectangle. So I'll come to insert, then come to shapes, and I'll choose this rectangle. So I'll put it at the left hand side. Okay, so this is what we have. Then I will change the color of the rectangle. So when you click on it, you see format screen appearing here. You go to shape, then style. So style, I want it to be black. So I'll give it a color of, I'll choose, okay, this color is fine. Right. Then the next thing that I'll do is I will set a title for this project. So I will use a text box for that. I'll click on text box and I will resize the text box. So this is what we have. Okay. So I'll push it. I'll increase the width to cover the entire top. Okay. Then what I want to put is Netflix. Okay, let me change that. Okay. So Netflix user base user base subscription analysis. Okay, so I'll select the font and increase the font size, make it bold. Okay, so I think this is fine. Then I want the background. I want the text to be this color. Drop down, let me change the color of the text. DE0913. Okay. Then I'll change the background of this text box too. I want it to be dark. Okay. Alright. Okay. I think that is fine. Right. So the next thing I'll do is I have an icon for Netflix which I want to insert. So I'll go to images, then go to icons in my folder. I'll select Netflix. I'll resize the icon, then put it here. Okay. So we have something beautiful like this. I'll resize it a bit. Okay. Right. Let me change the rectangle to dark black so that it blends with the Netflix icon. Okay. No, I think. Okay, let me go back to the previous color. I think the previous color was okay. All right. So that's fine. Okay. So I will duplicate the rectangle and use it as a card that I will be placing the KPIs on. Okay. So the first KPI that we will have is the total number of subscriptions. So we can easily create it by using a card. So I'll use this new card feature. Then I'll select subscription. So this is our total subscription. So by default, we can do it this way. Then there is also this card which we can use. So it depends on whatever card that we want to use. We can use any of them. But I want to use images for this project so that I can also show you how to use that in Power BI. So we can do it this way, which is totally good, but I want to use DAX. So to use DAX or measures, you just come here, or you can come to home and choose new measure, or you click here and choose new measure. Any of them will allow you to create measures. So the first measure that I will create is subscription count. Subscription, no, total subscription. Total subscription. So I'll use total subscription. And I'll use the count function in DAX. So we are going to count the number of users that have subscribed. Okay. So this is how we can create the number of users that have subscribed using a DAX function in Power BI. Okay. So it will create a measure like this for us. So this is total subscription. Okay. Then I also like to create the total revenue by using the same DAX function. So to do that, I can just come to new measure or choose it from here. But I'll use this so that you know that you can use different ways to create measures. So measures are simply calculations that you can perform in Power BI. So total revenue, I'll call this total revenue, and it will just be the sum of, I'll use the sum function. So the sum of Netflix monthly revenue. So this will give us the total revenue. So now I can start, or I will create my KPIs again. So I'll choose card as the first visual, and card takes only one value. So total revenue. So this is our total revenue, and I'll put it on this card. So let me put it here. Let me format it before. So I will change the color to this color, which is BE0913. Okay. Then I'll make it bold and change the font size to, I think, 45, 46 is okay. Alright. Then I don't want the label. So the label is the total revenue, which I don't want. So I'll just put it off. Then I'll drag this down a bit. Then I don't want the background as well. So I'll go to general, then come to effects, then put off the background. So now this is what we have as our total revenue. Okay. So to create the title, I'll use text box. So I'll just make a copy of this, then paste it. I'll make a copy of this and paste it. So it's just a duplicate. Okay. And I'll just change it to total revenue. Okay. But I want it to be 14. So I'll change the font size to 14. And I'll close it a bit. I don't want the background color. So effect, I'll put off the background color. And I'll put it on top here. I want to change the color to white. I think white is okay. Alright, so this is what we have for the total revenue. Okay, so I can put it here, and I'll place an icon beside it. So I'll go to insert image, then I can choose any of these images. So I'll choose this, resize it, and put it here. So this is our total revenue. Okay. I'll make a duplicate of this and okay, so I'll just select or Control C, Control V. So I just made a duplicate of it, which I'm going to use for our next KPI. So our next KPI will be count or total subscription count. So what I'll do is I'll click on the card that we use for the total revenue. Then I'll delete it from here and choose total subscription. So this gives us our total subscription for the month. Then I'll change the title to total subscription. Okay. And I'll change the icon or the image to this image. Okay, so this is our total subscription. Alright, so what we are going to look at again is, so from the objectives we are to look at subscription by country. Okay, so I'll just make a copy of this, put it here. Let me push this up a bit by selecting all of them. Okay. And let me push this closer to this a bit. Alright. Then I'll push this up. Okay. So I'll now look at the total subscription per country. So I'll just click outside this background, then choose any of the charts. So I'll choose this chart. Then I'll select country. The first objective is what? Second objective is subscription by country. So I'll choose country by just clicking on this checkbox. Then I'll choose subscription. So this gives us our subscription by country. So I'll just edit it a bit. Okay, let me place it here. And resize it to fit this. So what I'll do is I will put up the axis, the y-axis, then the x-axis. I'll put up the title. I will increase the font size 12, make it bold, Okay. And choose dark black for it. No, I'll choose this color. Alright. Then I will put on the data labels because I want the data to be shown for each the count of subscription for each country. So let me edit the values by coming down here. 12. Let me make it 12 bold, and I also want the color to be this color. Okay. No, I think the color is white. Then I'll change the background of the chart. So general effect, I'll put off the background. Okay. Then I'll make the bars. Let me change the x-axis, the value of the x-axis to white. Okay. And I'll change the color of the bars. So columns, I'll change the color of the columns to red, like this. Okay. So I think this is fine. Now we have our count of subscription per country. Okay. Let me increase this a bit. Alright, that is fine. So let me put off the title as I will use customize title. So this is the title, and let me change it to white. But I want to use text box for the title, so I'll just make a copy of this text box and put it here and name it as total subscription by country. Let me expand it a bit and put up the default title. So we'll go to general, then put off the default title. So this is the total subscription by country. So I'll just make a copy of this image and put it here. Okay. Right. Okay. So the next objective is to look at the total by gender. So I'll click on any empty space here, and let me use this donut. Okay. So I'll select gender and total subscription. So this gives us total subscription by gender. Let me just make a copy of this and use as title. Copy it. Okay. So total subscription by gender. Alright. Then let me edit the donut chart. So first of all, I'll change the slice color to red, and light red. Okay. Then I'll come to general effects and get rid of the background. I'll change the title to I'll put it off. Come back to visual. Then the legend I'll put it on top center. Put up the legend title. Then I'll edit the text, increase the font size 14, make it bold, then change the color to white. Okay. Then the values for the slider, I'll change the values to data value. Increase the font size to 14. Change the font color to white and make it bold. Then I will change the decimal places to 2 decimal places. So this is what we have as our subscription by gender. Okay, the next thing to look at is we want to look at subscription by age. Okay. So by age, I will just make a copy of this. So this will be the title, total subscription by age. So age, I want us to group the age into bins, because when we look at the data set, we have different dates. And to get a nice chart, I want to convert the date into bins. So to do that, you can come to the data set, then right click on the age column and choose new group. So new group, the minimum age is 26 and the maximum is 51. So I want to group it into 3 categories. Okay. So this is how you can convert the date into bins. So this creates another column which groups the date into bins. Okay. So that is what we will use for our report. Right. So for the date, I will choose this chart, clustered column chart, and I will choose each bin. Then the total subscription. So this is what we have for the age bin. But before that, no, let me delete. I'll make a copy of this chart so that we can just have the same format. Okay. So I will delete the X and Y axis. Choose total subscription and age bin. So this is what we want to have. And I'll just put it on this chart. Okay. So basically this is what we have for our subscription by age. Okay. So the next thing that, or the next KPI that we are going to look at, subscription by device. Okay, so I'll just make a copy of, I'll select this, and the card itself, make a copy and just push it here. Okay. So this will be our, I'll just change it to, okay, by device. So I'll just close this and choose device. Then I'll change the title to by device. But I don't think this chart is fine. So I'll choose a donut pie. But in order not to waste time on editing, what I'll do is I will make a copy of this chart and bring it here. And I just delete gender and choose device. Okay. So I'll go to format, then the slide. So the slides I'll choose red, then this, and I'll choose another shade of red, maybe a lighter one. Then this move to, I'll choose another shade of red, maybe a more darker one. Right. So this is what we have for subscription by device. Okay. So we've exhausted our first page of the report. So I'll just click on this plus sign. But before that, let me create our sliders. So to create a slider, all that you need to do is come here, click on slider. So slider, the first slider that we're going to use is by gender. So by gender, let me change it to a drop list, and I'll put it here. I want to make the background transparent, so I'll put up the background. Then the text color, I will choose red, make it 40 and bold. Okay. And the header, the slider header to, I'll choose, I think white is okay. No, let me make it red, and I'll make it 40 and bold. Okay. So basically this is what we have for the gender slider. I'll just make a copy of it and choose by device type. So we can also filter by device type. Okay. Alright, so sliders are used for filtering the records. Okay. Then I also want to create another filter for subscription type. So I'll make a copy of it, paste it here, and choose, instead of device, I will choose subscription plan. So now we can also filter by the subscription plan. Okay. Subscription type. I'll make a copy of this, and this will be for country. Okay, so I will change it to subscriptions by country so that we can also filter by the various countries. Okay, for country, let me change it to a vertical list like this. Okay, I think this is fine. All right, so now we can select our title, the drop down, these ones, the title, the drop down, the cards, copy all of them, go to next page and paste them here. So this is asking you whether you want to sync all the slices or the filters on this page as well. So just choose sync. Then you choose the background, come here, canvas settings, I will do custom 840 pixel, and I'll make this 1440, and the canvas background I'll choose this color, reduce the transparency. Okay, so we have something like this. Let me copy this, paste it here. Let me get rid of this. Okay. Okay, let me design this page. Make a copy, come here, paste it. Okay, so I'll just make a copy of this. Control C. Why? Let me go and copy again. Working with these files is a bit. You have to struggle a bit when you want to copy them. So, alright. Then I'll just copy this, 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 and this. So I'll copy them, come and paste them here. Alright, so I'll sync all of them. Okay, so now we need to do, okay, the next objective is subscription by plan. Okay, so I'll just make a copy of this, all of these. Copy, come to the next page, paste it here. Okay, so now instead of divide, I'll change it to plan. So subscription plan. Alright, so this is what we have for subscription by plan. Then I'll just edit the slices. So the first one is red, followed by this and light red. Okay, so this is what we have for our various plans. I'll reduce it. Okay, so now that we are done with our various KPIs, let's check the value. I don't want the decimal places, so I'll select the visual, come to format, then detail, value, then I don't want the decimal places, so I'll just get rid of the decimal places. I think I'll do same for the rest of this one too. I'll do same for it. So under value, format, details, values, I don't want the decimal place. Okay, alright. So now that we are done with the various KPIs, we are going to look at the sum of monthly revenue by device. So how do we do that? So the device, how many devices do we have? We have about 4. Okay, so I'll use this chart, start column chart, and I will choose device and total revenue. So this gives us the total revenue by device. Since we have the same amount of, okay, so this is, no, I'll just go and make a copy of this bar chart because I want to avoid editing. So I'll come here and paste it here. So instead of total subscription, I'll make it total revenue. So this is the total revenue. Then I'll choose, instead of country, I'll choose device. So this is how much each device brought to the company. Let me use this tag bar chart. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So the total revenue by device. Okay. So I'll change this icon to a new. So insert a new image. So I'll insert this image. Okay. select this, this, and this. Now move it here a bit. Okay. Alright. So this is what we have as our revenue by device. I'll change the value to 2 decimal places. Okay. Alright, so I can make a copy of this. The next objective is sales by country and gender. Okay, so sales by country. Let me make a copy of this. Let me push this here. Okay. Now just make a copy of it. I'll make a copy of this. And instead of subscription, I'll choose total revenue. So this is how much in sales per country. So labels, I want it to be in 2 decimal places. So I'll change values to 2 decimal places. Okay. Alright. Okay. Then the next KPI is okay. Let me change this icon. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to look at is sales by country and gender. So let's use this column, start column chart. Then we choose total revenue by country and gender. So this gives us, okay, so to prevent editing, I will just make a copy of this, and I'll add gender to it. So this gives us sales. The legend should be on the top center. I don't want the legend title. I want it to be 14. Make it bold. Change it to white. And I will change the visual colors to red for the base and this color for the top. Okay, so this is the distribution of subscription by revenue for each country. So I'll send this back. Okay, so this is what we have as sales per country. Okay, so sales subscription, no, total revenue by country and gender. And this is total revenue by country. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that we can look at is, let's look at sum of revenue by subscription type. So I'll make a copy of this. Subscription type. So subscription type, we have 3 types. So I'll just make a copy of this. Okay, so I'll change this to I'll change this to instead of total subscription, I'll change it to total revenue. Then I'll edit the axis. So with I'll put off the x axis. I'll put off the value for the x axis, and I will edit the value for the y axis, change it to y, and add data labels. The values will be 14 bold, and I'll replace this image with this. Okay, total revenue by plan. So this is our total revenue by plan. So basically, this is what we have for the next. Yes, this is what we have as our revenue by country, device, gender, and plan. So I'll add another page, and I'll give it, I'll change the canvas to 840, then 1440. I'll give it a background color of this. Then I'll reduce the transparency to 9. Okay. Then I'll make a copy of this and put it here. Then I'll make a copy of the title and put it here. Okay, I'll copy the logo and the various slices. Put them here. Then I'll turn on sync for all. So our next objective is to find total revenue by country, gender, and age. Okay, we've done for subscription by device type. So country, gender, and age. So I'll use this. I'll just make a copy of this. I'll make a copy of this. Okay, and I'll just add age bin to it. Let me add age bin to. Okay, let me put it. Okay, so this will be fine. Or should I use? Let me use a table for it. No, the chart is fine. Okay, so this is uh, let me use. Okay, so basically this is what we can have for the age groups and the revenue by country. So in each country, this is the age group and the revenue by gender. But it looks a bit, it doesn't look nice. Let me try with this and see. Wow. We have a lot of data here. So it doesn't really look nice on it doesn't look nice. So let's leave that. It doesn't look nice here. Okay. Let's try and plot subscription by date. So I'll just get rid of. No, let's plot by revenue generated on yearly or monthly basis. So on yearly basis, this is the distribution of sales. So in 2021, let's just think the time series is fine. Or we can use this. Let's add monthly so that we can drill down. Okay. So now we have a distribution of revenue by year. So this is the yearly revenue distribution, and we can drill down or drill up to the year, then we can drill down to month, or we can drill down to each month in the years. Then let me add. Okay, so this is the year monthly sales distribution per year. So October 2021, this is September 2021, October 2021, November 2021. So let me add data points to it. Okay, so these are the monthly revenue by let me reduce this a bit. Okay, so revenue by month and year. So this is a drill down map or a drill down chart where you can drill down to either month or year. So what I did is, under the date hierarchy that is created in the join date, I just chose year and month. We can also add quarter if we want. Okay, so to drill down, you can just click on this, and this will allow you to drill up. Then if you want to drill down, so these are quarter sales, you can drill down to monthly sales. So this is total for January, or the month in January. If you want to put off the drill down, you can just click on it, put it off. Okay, so drill down allows you to drill depending on what is selected under the date hierarchy. Okay, so I think I will leave it in year, drill down by year. Then this is by quarter. So this is the quarterly sales total revenue that was generated over the years. Then you can also drill down by month, can drill up by this for quarters, this for months. Let me put off the quarter. Okay, so this will give you the lowest level. So this is the monthly revenue for each month. Okay, so let me change the line color to red. So line, then color. So I want to change it to red. Okay, then series labels. Okay. Then the line type linear. I will increase the stroke size a bit to 5 pixels. Okay, I think this is good. So basically, this is what we have as uh, our revenue over time. So as I said, you can use the drill buttons to drill to this yearly revenue. So 2021, 2022, and 2023. So this, you can see that there was a sharp increase in revenue in 2022, and in 2023 there is a drop. Okay, you can drill down to the various months. You can drill down to the list. Okay, right. So basically, this brings us to the end of today's tutorial, and this project was about revenue analysis on a Netflix database, which we decided to use Power BI to analyze. So thank you for watching the video. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so to support us. Thank you once again, and see you in the next tutorial.